little bit? Okay.
At all.
So the 2020 ban institute shows that in 2020 there was 35,666 fatal deaths. About 12 and some change percent of that involving large trucks. Right? 8% of that is combination trucks. But in only 0.7% of the time in 2020 was the combination vehicle ticketed at fault. So I don't know if you guys know more about some of that information. Tried to navigate the website, but it looks like some of it only was back like 2021. So we get a little bit more data. But we're trying to figure out what that's looking like closer to now. Just because of all the regulations that are our industry, you know, a lot of things feel like it's coming at us and always targeting our backside. But if that number hasn't fluctuated much, what are we really doing about on-the-road safety with things that are outside of our control? And why do all the regulations have to be on us?
Some of our data people will be here like Saturday or next Saturday.
Okay. On Saturday?
Yeah, and there's one of the guys, Scott Valentine, he does a lot with our data and all of that stuff. He can explain going back why you don't see some of the numbers. I have no idea. That's not my area.
Yeah.
But,
I know it's like there's a lot of collection going on with ATRI, IIHS, NHTSA, and it takes time to put all that together. It just seems the last 4 years you would have seen a little bit more reporting. Seems we're looking at some pretty tough regulations coming our way. We have to now, if the manufacturer has the AED systems, they have to be on the vehicle and operating. That can be out of service. But now we're looking at like speed limiters, but is that really all? That's not necessarily going to help. It's going to create more frustration. It's going to create more interactions with the public because now we can't get around each other. So, in light of all those things coming in, AI systems, you know, watching the drivers all the time, there's an awful lot of stress that I don't think is equal in a lot of safety. Especially if the data hasn't changed much since then. If the data shows that 0.7% of the time is our fault, it's a pretty small number for us to be, reaping all the consequences of that stuff, right? And the media doesn't help. Would you guys agree the media kind of doesn't help with the fanning of the flame looking at us all the time?
I'm not going to say because he's right there recording. He's on any camera responding to anything and get my stuff in trouble.
Yeah, well, I got to get you. Yeah, you got to make sure your back's covered, right?
Look, these days I have to cover everything.
I didn't know you was recording.
Yeah. But, so I got one thing to add. On the speed limiters. So, it even shows in statistics that everybody going around the same speed is actually safer. So why would you guys want to limit us down to 60, 65? Right.
When speeds are split, what's the theory behind that?
Right.
What do you guys think is really going to resolve?
I would need to see what the policy and the records. I mean, unfortunately, that's not our area.
Okay.
Right.
So what are your main issues?
Pre-employment screening.
Oh, pre-employment screening stuff? Okay. Cool. Okay.
Gives you up to 5 years of crash history, 2 years of roadside inspection.
Sure.
It's like the MBRs.
Right.
MBRs are conviction, right?
Right.
This is regardless of conviction.
Right.
And this is the roadside data.
Right.
5 years. So it helps you.
Right.
Run that record.
Sure.
It helps you. Having a safe driver.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's probably.
So you work more like with the drug clearinghouse and things of that nature. That's a different area.
They'll be here Saturday as well.
Be here Saturday. Okay. Yeah.